is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in.
I need to sort that out. The music stops at the end. What's happened?
I know. I was just as I was getting into it, I was like, you caught me out.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to Arsenal News. Got my awesome co-host today. Canners, how are we doing?
Very well. Very well. Whilst the whole Twitter sphere and the media and certain Arsenal fans melt along with the weather, we're staying cool, man. We're calm for now.
Calm. Just look, I get the people's stress. I wanted to do a video of a roller coaster because that's literally what the window's been like so far, because it is absolutely mental. Yeah, exactly. But I've always said, and I said to James a couple of weeks ago, get ready for the panto. That's what this is. It's just a big pantomime.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just madness. Right, let's get into some housekeeping once I can find it, because obviously someone's been uploading other pictures today. Right, let's get into the chance to win a signed Aaron Ramsdale frame with signature. It does have a certificate of authentication. All you need to do is simply subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, you're already entered. The draw will take place for the match preview of the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest. So good luck to everybody. And yeah, so that's it. So awesome stuff there. Let's get into the comments before we get into the news, because honestly, I'm dreading some of the news stories today. But there we go. Big up to Steve Havertz. He's still not keen. But guys, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm starting to feel I'm warming up to it now.
He's warming up, see? He's warming up. Big up to Tamina. Hi, Bobby and James. It's Canners tonight, but big up to you, Tamina. Honestly, I
can be James if you want me to.
Declan Rice is joining Arsenal. She's read my script again. Look, we'll get into this Declan Rice situation, don't you worry. Wants to stay in London. Timber is joining Arsenal too. We'll get into that. Kai Havertz is joining Arsenal too. We'll get into that. Lavia, we'll get into him as well. Arsenal will definitely get into that bit as well. Big up to Ollie. The world is not over and Rice is not the be-all. I love him. I absolutely do love him. Absolutely awesome bloke. Big up to King. Hello, happy Friday. Guna Greg, are you still calm? I'll get into that as well. That I'll save. Big up to Beats.
That's a cucumber.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's get into the first news story. And it's not going to start with Declan Rice. We start with incomings, then chat first. So first one, medical is expected this weekend for Kai Havertz for a £65 million move. The announcement should be next week. It could be as early as Monday, Tuesday. That they are considering doing the medical abroad if necessary, because he actually is on holiday at the moment. So, Canners, so you're kind of looking forward to this now.
I am indeed. Do you know what? Did a little bit more research on him, bit more of the eye test as well on him, just him. And to be honest, I understand it. I really do. Because at first I was struggling to see where he would fit in, where he would play. But I can actually see him being an absolute worldie of an upgrade on Xhaka.
Yeah.
I really can. Xhaka, for all his, he's great at what he does or whatever. But there's sometimes that the little bit of a difference, a bit like what Gundogan does for Man City. Sometimes a little bit different is what's required. And I've been watching Havertz, and I'm excited, to be honest. I didn't think I'd never really. I'm not sure. Obviously, he's been playing up top for Chelsea, pretty much most of the time there. But I don't think he is that type of player. He is more of a, an attacking midfielder. But and what Arteta's got Xhaka doing, I feel that he can do that role. And you know what? He's young as well. And
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. The ceiling on him, who knows? Who knows? But he's got a big ceiling, and I think with Arteta, I think we've got a bargain here. I was saying the next couple of years we'll be talking 60-65 million for him. He's worth double that now.
Yeah, I agree. And Beat's gonna says it here perfectly as well. His aerial ability will be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because on our front line we have no one that can do that. So
No.
can. So
And that's one of the things as well that I've been watching as well. How his aerial prowess and how effective he is in the air. He is he's an all-round player, to be fair. You know, arguably if you want to really be critical and say, you know, he's been playing up top for Chelsea, he hasn't scored that much, but I just don't see him as that type of player. He's a player who can start the play for us, who can get himself out of tight situations, he can create chances and start off attacks from deep. So I'm looking forward to him actually, and to see how he integrates in pre-season and where Arteta does actually play him.
Yeah, Guna Greg, I don't know what I've not seen Cobra Kai, so I don't actually.
I have.
Oh, okay. So hopefully you'll understand that because I have no idea what that means.
I'm trying to get the context there.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I don't understand it myself because I've seen Karate Kid, but I've not seen this Cobra Kai thing at all. It doesn't interest me at all. It's not my type of thing. If I'm honest, I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's what as most people say. Big ups to Moss. He's saying too much money for Havertz. I think Chelsea paid more in.
They did.
So
yeah,
for me, and I wanted him from Leverkusen. So you know, I'm going to ignore that he was at Chelsea. I'm going to just delete that out of my brain and go, okay, this is the guy I wanted from Leverkusen. He will play that role very well, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him. I really am.
I am too, and just see how it integrates because his footwork and he is a big lad. He's what 6'2", 6'3". I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, I know Moss is now comparing it to Mount. Mount is a different thing because he only has 1 year left on his contract, where Havertz didn't. So for me, you can't compare the two. So that's why Mount is still going to be like 55, 60 million. So
yeah.
It's still a lot of money to pay for someone that's only got a year on his contract left. I think Havertz means a new change of formation and a more fluid adapting changes. This is why a certain player is very important to sign for us because of the way that we're setting our midfield up. So, yeah, I kind of get where we're going with it. It does make more sense. If you look at the way that, and I'd hate comparing us to City because I can't stand watching City play, as everyone knows. But City have 5 defenders, 5 attackers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they do. So we'll have 5 attackers, 5 defenders. So, yeah, I'm not too worried. Arteta will have him banging in goals like Klose too. Look, I love Klose. So, yeah, I absolutely love him. Great. Oh, yeah. I wanted was that Kai wants to so like it. He will stretch the pitch when his drops like granite did in.
But I think he'll do it better because he's better on the ball than Xhaka. I really do. I really do think that he is an Arteta type of footballer where he can do things that you would not expect. To be like, wow, where'd that come from? From back heels to flicks to little kind of things. Where's he going to go now? Oh my God, where did he see that from? So he is that type of player. He is a vision player who can actually manipulate the ball and is very, very technically sound.
Yeah. Moss saying here just could have been less. They wanted 75 million for him, so we've saved 10 million. It's the way that we're structured the deal as well is a bargain. So it's not like we're paying them all in one lump sum. We're not. Todd's getting a little bit of self-medicine back here. So it is what it is, but I'm happy with it. I think it's a good deal. Let's move on. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that I think the main thing really for Chelsea is the fact that he's off their wage, for FFP. So that's the main thing. I mean, yeah, he can, he can suck up, I guess, the installments. But yeah, the main thing is that the wages are off their books.
Yeah. Because I remember saying to someone a few weeks ago, that watch Chelsea, they'll have 15 players out the door, and everyone laughed at me. I'm like, no, seriously, they'll be selling loads of players. Look at it; it's a revolving door at Chelsea, but they have to. They have to, and I think it will work for them in the end because they'll have a smaller squad. Pochettino will be able to sort it all out. So yeah. Moss saying here. So was it? Yeah, it's an instalment plan. So I think it's 15 million a year or something like that for Kai over the 4 years, and then it's a 5 million add-ons, which we'll get into add-ons because that's where it's important with the Declan Rice deal. Kind of annoys me a little bit if I'm honest. Let's move on to the next story, which is Declan Rice, and I have called it the Declan Rice Panto, coming to a theatre near you, because honestly, everyone is everyone's just lost their minds.
He's behind you.
Yeah, honestly, people are losing their minds. And look, Di Marzio, for some bizarre reason, considering he's in Italy, so that means he's 2 hours ahead of us, released a tweet at 9 o'clock last night, which is 11 o'clock in Italy time, and then re-released it again today with a different wording. And Fab, Orny, there's a certain one that I trust more that tweets regarding football, and nothing's come of it. No bid, everything's gone quiet. But what you've got to look at with the whole situation is look at the other moving parts. And it doesn't really necessarily involve us, doesn't really necessarily regarding City. It's to do with other people's targets. And it's all slowly moving parts. I still am confident. I may not seem it, only because it's just, honestly, it's stressing me out right now because it's crazy how people are going. But I'm chill still, 100% confident. Still, I'm smiling because I am confident. I know a lot of people aren't, and I totally get it. If you just literally read your Twitter feed and constantly,
you'd lose your mind.
Yeah, you do, and I totally get why people do it. And I will say this: if it is affecting your mental health, because this can get you down when you're excited about a signing, all of a sudden it fails. Take a breather from it. Just take a day away, because honestly, this is not going to be cleared up tonight and tomorrow. It's still going to go on because certain people want it to continue, and that's the way it is because it's good clicks for people. It makes people money.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
No, carry on. But what I will say, and this is the bit that is annoying, when it comes to the add-ons which people are talking about, when our add-ons are not being classed as reasonable, they're exactly the same as City's. But there's a difference with City. They're more achievable because they are likely to win the league. They are more likely to win the Champions League than what we are. So it's kind of a punishment for any team in the Premier League. So at some point, and I hope it doesn't happen, any club that's trying to buy a player in the Premier League that put these add-ons, those teams might go, well, you're not going to achieve it because City are there. This could be a horrible knock-on effect, and I hope it doesn't happen. And it's very unreasonable to say, "Oh, hang on, you're not going to win the league because City are there." Well, it's a bit unfair to say that because Leicester have won it, other clubs have won it over the years that were never expected to win it. So for me, it's a little bit unfair where the journos say unreasonable. They're exactly the same add-ons.
Yep.
We came second, 5 points behind City last season, but it's classed as an unreasonable add-on.
If it wasn't for us, it would have been an absolute joke of a season.
Yeah.
An absolute joke. Listen, I think we'll get closer again, if not win it next season, with the right signings. And I think the club is going that way into addressing those right signings. I maintain it, and I keep saying it, and again, is that the major thing that we need is that once certain players are dropped or injured or suspended or whatever it is that the players that come in from the squad, the drop off is not huge, it's the style of play. Like, I think one of the things last year was that as soon as Zinchenko was injured, the way we played was totally different.
Yeah.
And I think now he's addressing that with certain purchases in order to kind of get players in that makes us play or keep the continuity of the team with a minimal drop off. Listen, I'm calm just as you are. I know some people are losing their minds. Everybody, you know, from all the multiple WhatsApp groups and everything are kind of just going absolutely nuts. Listen, until I see it on the BBC ticker, all that kind of stuff, do you know what I mean? I'm remaining calm, but I actually do feel I'm trying to look at it from a professional point of view, from from a player's perspective. There's certain things, and that you want as a player, and not only that as a player, but with your life too. Now, if you don't want to live up north, you're not going to play for a team up north. If you've just bought a house and you've totally custom made that house in London, you're gonna, fair enough. If you've got a young family, these things count. Not only that, is the fact of the matter is that he has a bit of a, I feel, a relationship with Arteta. They've spoken at length. Arteta has to him about what he wants to achieve, where he wants to go, what he sees him doing. And when you have that as a player, when you have that kind of belief and that, do you know what? This is an enormous club and they're going to do all this for me. That is such a big thing. Now, Pep, bless him, do you know what I mean? He's fantastic. And do you know what? You would say from the outside looking in, the chance to work for Pep is an absolute no-brainer. Playing for Man City is a no-brainer. You can go to Man City for 3-4 years or whatever, win everything, and then go back to West Ham and finish your career. Yeah, you can do that, right? But the thing is, you just don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years. What if Man City don't win anything? Pep leaves, as he said that he's got another couple of years and he's gone. Then what? Another manager comes in, the success, everything starts to go. Do you know what I'm saying? But also as well, the way I see it is that I can't see him dislodging Rodri, right? And could the same thing happen to him? And maybe a blessing in disguise for us that they actually got Calvin Phillips, because that guy was an England regular, and he was on the up when he was at Leeds. Goes to Man City, and literally, if it wasn't for Southgate, his career would have just stalled. Declan Rice might have seen that and just thought that might have put him off. However, the flip side of that same coin is, hey, I back myself as a player. I know that I can make a difference. I know that I can play, blah, blah, blah. But such is the competition is that, listen, I'm calm. I actually think the Arsenal project is such an exciting one. You're surrounded by English players. And there's a young, soon as Xhaka goes, soon as Thomas Partey goes, that squad's ridiculously young. And to be part of something that, you can say in the next 5, 6, 7 years, that could be a team that could dominate.
100%. Big up to Arsenal Forever saying this Declan Rice business, like if you go view a house and the asking price is set, sometimes you just have to pay the price.
It's how much you want it.
Exactly. Look, we will go in, well, whatever you want to believe, whatever. But yes, the West Ham will get pretty much what they want. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, Kai Havertz completed his medical. Yes, he will complete his medical this weekend. I don't know exactly where, if he's flying back into England to then go back out and enjoy his holiday, which might mean the announcement might have to wait a little bit longer as well. But look, people need their holidays, and fair enough for that, to be honest. Arsenal wants to shop in Harrods with JD Sports money. Fair enough. I've seen 4 different reports now on the add-ons on the Havertz deal structure-wise. Look, it is a payment plan because, to be honest, Chelsea don't really have much to be able to negotiate with. They've just got to get people off their wage bill. So yeah, that's why Moss not on Twitter. Honestly, Twitter's just a mad place right now. For Arsenal to drag this on, it's allowing other clubs a chance at stealing Declan Rice from us. Is it though? Is it Arsenal dragging, or is it West Ham doing exactly what West Ham wanted in the first place? That's what you got to look at.
Do you know what? There's only 2 clubs that can afford Declan Rice right now.
Yeah.
Right now. I say right now. That's potentially 3. You could say Newcastle, us, and Man City. He's not going to go Newcastle. Man City, yeah, he might go there. But the thing is, they've just bought Havertz from Chelsea. They've got to fill Gundogan's boots, I guess. They've still got Rodri. I just don't. It'll be one of those ones I feel like they're getting him so we don't have him.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just checking this story that someone's just put in the chat. I'm pretty sure it has not been done, because normally it comes up on my phone, and let's just double check, because I'm pretty sure it hasn't come up on my phone. No. The only thing that's come up is Ruben Neves has completed his transfer to Saudi Arabia. Rice, yeah, so that's unfortunate. What they're reporting is what Di Marzio reported last night and then repeated again today. And if you look at the structure, it is not much different to the one that was called embarrassing by the journos a week or so ago. So where's the embarrassing title for that one? I'm just asking a simple question. If anyone can answer me,
was
please.
that Rice to City done deal? Say Sky Sports News just now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. It's not come up on my phone because I do get the breaking news as it comes through on my phone. So yeah, I haven't heard it. I don't think add-ons should be club centered. Should be more so appearances. Correct. That's what I think it should be. It shouldn't be to do with achievements, if I'm honest, and individual player achievement bonus add-ons for me, or if sale within a time period. Fair enough. Okay, we're going on to talking about under 21s. I'll talk about the under 21s at the end, I promise, but not right now. Declan and Saka put some bodies too. Look,
But they are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at them, they already seem to have that kind of bit of a bromance already going on from the times that, you saw like the time. Do you remember when Kardashian came to the Emirates, and then that all kind of blew up, and when the England camp kind of, you could see that there was a good kind of camaraderie between Rice and Saka and everything, as Saka entered the room for the England camp. And then even when Saka scores, you can just see, you just look at the kind of way that Rice goes up to kind of, there's a lot of respect there between Saka and Rice.
Yeah, it's well known that Declan's best friend is Mason Mount, and they are best buddies. They've been buddies since like 8 or something like that. So, but Mason's off to Manchester United. So, and I can't see them. Now, I know Arsenal and West Ham are a little bit of a rival because they're both London clubs, and West Ham and Chelsea are a bit of a rivalry because they're London clubs. But Man City and Man United, I can't see that happening, let's be honest. That's the mad part about that one.
Yeah.
Surely playing Super Cup and World Cup on top of a chase, and it must be tempting. Look, I'm not saying that Man City is not tempting. However, I think Declan hopefully has his priorities right, and for him, family comes first. So I'm hoping that, everything that we've heard is true, and we'll wait and see what happens. City going to mess with this just to mess with us. It's smart, and Hammers won't make sure they get top dollar. This is all no-brainers. We've got to still be better than an option. Look, no matter what City offer, Arsenal will offer the same. I 100% guarantee that, because Arsenal, this is essential signing to the way that Arteta wants to play. And, it is what it is. And Tamina, big up to Tamina, saying Dennis Shop, don't believe it is false. Declan Rice is not joining. He's joining Arsenal, not City. Let's just wait and see. Rice Friday, he's on holiday still, like Havertz. He was meant to go on holiday today. I haven't heard if he is on holiday. That might be, again, why some news is just not breaking. Ale Koikis signs new contract with Northampton Town. Big up to Luke that always likes to update me on the lower leagues. Really appreciate it. I'll have a look at him in a bit. I can't say I actually know him, so I'll definitely have a look later. Big up to Brenny. Hope you're doing well.
Brenny.
Evening to both of us. Big up to, oh, crikey. Sorry. I'm going to try my best not to butcher your name here. Bamuje Farouk. I hope I've said that.
Good.
Yeah, it's not bad. He said boom, boom. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we need a Orney bomb in a few days or at least a few hours. Haven't got a beer in hand. Have to make do with Coke at work. Big up to Brenny.
What kind of Coke's he talking about, though?
Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whichever one you, or even Aldi's version. Or
true. I hope so, Brenny. Don't be doing none of that stuff at work, right?
Let's move on to the next news story. So, Arsenal close to reaching agreement for Timber. Ajax want 50. We offered 30. And we're going back in for 38 now. Ajax will drop their price a little bit. I think this could kind of be wrapped up in the next 5 to 6 days. Cannons, you excited about Timber?
Very much so. This guy is a huge talent, absolutely huge talent, in my opinion. Anyway, he can play as well. Right back, he's very, very good on the ball. He can also play right-sided centre back as well. Who would, if Saliba's unfit for it, whatever reason, he can cover those, fill those boots as well. Decent player, young again, 22. Listen, I'm liking the direction we're going. Athletically strong, quick. I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest. The only thing is we've got a little bit of history with Ajax when it comes to negotiating with them. It's Van der Sar, isn't it? He's kind of their sports director or whatever, but I'm not sure if it's some kind of delaying tactic in terms of trying to wait for Man United to come in or whatever. I don't know, but what they did with Martinez. But yeah, I like this kid. If he comes in, the noises that are coming out of his camp is that he wants us. He's apparently refused Bayern Munich, so that just leaves us in the picture, really. So hopefully we can get this one over the line. I think the fact that he only wants us is a good thing for us in terms of negotiating, and hopefully 38 mil. Listen, he's 22. I know he is international, but it's still a heck of a lot of money for him.
Yeah, it is. Moss wants his twin brother Quentin, who's been doing very well for the under 21s as well. Kuna Craig, have you guys seen Niger Englishman losing his mind over camp? To be honest, I haven't.
I haven't seen it, but
we're all friends with Niger. He's in our group WhatsApp and stuff. So, and to be honest, he's been very quiet in the WhatsApp group about it, if I'm honest. So I haven't seen him losing his mind over it.
He has been kind of. I don't think he's. I think he's underwhelmed with it. Obviously I can't really speak for him, but that's the noises I'm getting from Niger. But I think he'll be quite quickly turned around, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's my opinion anyway.
Man United issue is the wholesale saga. Yes, the Glazers are treating their fans awfully. If I'm honest, I have to say it because yes, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I know I don't like seeing a club run that badly. So the Glazers do need to sell up so United can go out and improve their squad. Do I think they'll spend a lot of money? Don't think so. If I'm honest, not the first season. I think Ten Hag only wants a few for the first season, and I don't think Timber would be swayed. If I'm honest, he's very keen on the Arsenal project, and I think it's pretty much sorted. I'm confident.
We're that club again, man. We're that club again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about it. Tamina says, "Don't read Di Marzio." Yeah, honestly, Di Marzio is. I know he works for Sky Sports in Italy, but honestly, yeah, he was one that got involved in the Mudryk going to Arsenal last year, the end of December. So, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of him, if I'm honest. Big up to DWTT.
Wasted tweet. Well. How you doing, bro? Hope you're good.
Do we think Kai will be more of a centre forward option for the front trio or the attacking mid role? I honestly think he's just sitting where Xhaka is. we're going to talk about a situation that's occurred because Kai's coming in, but it doesn't stop us from looking at a forward for next season, if not this season. If you know, a project arises, it doesn't stop us from this season. But it's not a striker for me. What about you, Canners?
I think if we need a striker, we've got one already in Balogun.
Oh, I think you say Eddie then.
You had a slight panic there already, didn't you? No, I you know, in terms of, I think really, if we did need a striker, we already got one in Balogun. But the fact that we're obviously entertaining offers for both of those strikers, it might be a case that I don't know. We could be looking for another striker, or the fact that it could be using Havertz up top and buying another midfielder. I don't know. It could work out like that. I don't know, but it would be kind of odd. I'd find it a little bit odd if we bought another striker, since we got Balogun there.
Yeah, I have seen some of the comments. Moss, I will be talking about Lavia very shortly. Big up to Tamina again. Yes, he will be wearing the number 29 like he did at Leverkusen and the other club, which I'm not going to mention. Hi, lads. I like this deal for Timber. Good right back and good replacement for Tomiyasu because of injury, but I can see Tomiyasu leaving in January window. I think Tommy will just be used as a more of a utilised defender, left, centre-back, right back. Like I said, I think I said it to you last week, Canners. We're going to be more like a Swiss Army knife. Yeah. Multiple things that all our players can do.
You can play anywhere across the back line.
It's the best way. Like, for anyone that's played FIFA, Championship Manager, Football Manager, you tend to normally like 22 players, like for every single position. But you can't do that nowadays because squad harmony. And City are the perfect example. They have like 17 players or 18 players that they use. That's what we're going to try and do. So we want people that are multitasked. And I think that will work where Tommy fits in perfectly, if I'm honest. Kai just like Trossard, he can adapt and play many spots. Absolutely, yes, he can. Yes, Kai is very versatile. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly because what I do know is Arsenal are trying to arrange it with Kai, and Kai is on holiday, so they're obviously trying to make everybody happy. And obviously, we need our own doctor there as well to do the medical. So it will take time, but I'm pretty sure it will be sorted out this weekend. All the players that are linked are obviously to manage every player's minutes a lot better than last year. Exactly what me and Brenny have been saying most of the last season, that we want depth, good quality depth. So there isn't much of a drop off from one player to another. And it also makes my previews a bit more interesting because not everyone goes for the same damn lineup, which is what I had all last season. And
that was the most,
This is why I've got a group of like 25 people I approach and go, open your minds and do it. And they do it all for me. But if I just ask the Armoury guys, I guarantee I've got like 2 squads.
No. That was exactly it, because I was struggling. Because I was thinking, well, they're fit, so why would you change it? We're winning. Why do you change it? But at the same time, you're running them into the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously, the proof and the pudding's in the eating, and we kind of come up short in the end because they actually got tired and there was no kind of like refresh.
Yeah, exactly. Big up to Anthony, thinks we'll sell Eddie and Balogun. The Balogun situation should be known, I would have thought, next week. We have had a meeting with his reps. Whether or not there might be a second one, there might be. But yeah, because Balogun does not want to go on loan. So it's a case of, like I think I said either Tuesday or last week, it's a case of sell or play him. That's what he wants. And so
what's your gut telling you in terms of, if it came down to one or the other, Balogun or Nketiah, who do you think? I mean, listen, from a fan's perspective, we'd always say to keep, to sell Nketiah. But from a manager's perspective, what does your gut tell you that Arteta would do?
Sell both.
Really?
Okay. I think so. I know it sounds weird, but because Trossard can play there, Havertz could play there as a last resort, if I'm honest. I think we've got a guaranteed 60 million guaranteed with those two. I can't see much more for Eddie. If I'm not, I know it always sounds like a pick on Eddie, but Eddie's just not the striker for me. He reminds me a little bit too much of Chris Cormier, and that guy gave me nightmares. So
gosh,
yeah,
you pulled that one out, flipping heck.
Well, that's how he reminds me. He reminds me of him. He has this big purple patch at Ipswich and did absolutely nothing for us, literally nothing. So I don't know. I love Balogun, and I think he's someone to keep an eye out for. I think he'll be one of the top strikers in the world at some point.
Gosh, that would be a bitter pill to swallow, I tell you.
But again, it's a case of, and we'll get into this because that's a talking point in a little bit. But if he doesn't fit our system and you won't see the best out of him, I don't see the point in keeping him, because you're just going to get the fan base going, why did we keep him? Because he's playing awfully. But if he's not playing in the system that he needs, then he's not going to flourish. I think that Kai, if we didn't have Odegaard, right, and I know Moss, this is horrible to hear, but if we didn't have Odegaard, Kai and Balogun would be perfect together, but we have to fit Odegaard in there too, and that just wouldn't work with the two of them. And then because you have to play Kai slightly higher, you'd have to play Kai just behind Balogun, like a Bergkamp, like I said the last time, Bergkamp and right, and it just wouldn't work. And we have to let him go. But we'll get into the Balogun because obviously Arsenal are considering, and there is some good positive news about our selling for this one. So we'll get into that very shortly. Bobby, do you believe that reports that yes, Tchouaméni they will sell him for 80 million, Real Madrid. So look, he's someone that is to keep an eye on. I wouldn't say that Liverpool will buy him, but Tchouaméni, Real Madrid would like to keep him, but if an 80 million pound bid came in, they would let him go, which is mad to say because it's too many.
I'd take him.
Yeah, so would I. Because if God forbid this doesn't happen with such and such, too many, I'd be happy. Tamina says Eddie is leaving too. I do believe that is a big possibility. Don't think Real Madrid selling Tchouaméni, but they would consider it. They definitely would. Any two new strikers we have been linked with. No links with a striker. There was one that I read earlier, and I was contemplating putting it in here, but because there's not enough information to say it's a real link, I couldn't put it in here. I won't put a story in here that's not a little bit true. And Moss, you know who it is.
It's no one Canadian, is it?
Yes, but it's not. There's not enough real story in that for me. So I'm giving Balogun a chance. Look, I would love to, but I just don't see how he fits in the system because I've seen him play and I know what makes him work and what makes him tick. He's very much like Ian Wright. I don't think Ian Wright will suit our system, if I'm honest.
No, you're right. You're right.
Tross, we always forgetting these. Yeah, he is, honestly. Kai Havertz just signed for Arsenal. He will be. Don't you worry about that. Timber. Simakan, still no links. Still no links as of yet. There was, but they have faded since the Timber one has started to come through. Balogun and Eddie are both leaving. I do believe they might do. Right, let's move on to the next story. Arsenal are inching closer to agreeing a deal for Lavia. The fee is believed to be about 40 million. We have agreed terms with Lavia, but it's now agreeing situation with Southampton. But it's also waiting for people to leave. That's the other part that we need to wait for, is other people to set up their deal to then see you later. Canners, Lavia, yes, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this could be another one, of the midfielders that we're looking to get, which would complement the numbers of obviously departures that's possibly going to happen. And again, this is this totally fits the profile of player that Arteta is looking at and looking for.
Yeah.
If we can get him for such a fee, I feel again it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it is a little bit high. However, how much higher would it be if Southampton was still in the Premier League? So,
Correct.
listen, I think it would be a very, very good deal. My only concern is the lack of experience around him. Fair enough, we will have Jorginho and Elneny, but that for me is not the kind of experience. Yeah, Jorginho, yes, Elneny, not so much. But listen, there's nothing like learning on the ground, is there, and actually doing and playing. It'd be a big season, Champions League football, and looking at things on all full front. So it'd be interesting if we do get him. It'd be a brilliant buy.
Yeah. Yes, you are right with the person I'm on about, and I'll talk about it very quickly in a minute. We've only got 2 paper talks today, and it's a centre back and a midfielder that I will talk about, which is in the paper talk, which isn't talked about in other part of the show. Timber at Arsenal personal. Yes, we've agreed terms with Timber. Not everyone wants JD, considering it's only £51 million to get him. Not everybody wants him, which is what I've always said, Moss. There's just something about him that people just don't like. And I don't know. I can see certain, and I know you see it differently, but I see a certain thing about JD that doesn't impress me. Simakan just a late sub for France yesterday. Do the panel think TP5 will stay or leave? Definitely leaving for me. Canners?
I don't want him to leave. I know you're not fussed. But I think he will leave with all the. I just think it's not just for footballing reasons.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not. That is literally all I'm going to say to that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no more.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm happy with Kai Havertz going to Arsenal. Big up to Danny Shop saying that. Tony's happy about Lavia. Elneny should also leave, I believe. Elneny's not going to see. Elneny is on the situation very much like Cazorla when Cazorla was injured. I very much doubt we'll see much of Elneny next season, but it doesn't mean we're going to sell him. I think he's a very nice person to have in the dressing room. He's honestly.
I know. Do you know that's something you don't often hear so much in football nowadays. As you know, he's a nice lad, isn't he, to have around the squad.
Elneny is a lovely, lovely guy. Absolutely awesome bloke. Right, let's move on to the next storyline. Party being offered a staggering wage in Saudi. It's ridiculous how much it's being offered. Juventus are coming in to match what the Saudi teams are offering transfer-wise, not wages-wise. But look, we've talked about this most throughout the show anyway. Do you think he'll go to Saudi Arabia or Juventus? Cameras?
My thing is why would you go Juventus?
Yeah,
you're not playing Champions League next year. Their club is just riddled with corruption, in my opinion. And do you know what the thing is? I can't get done with that because they've actually been done for corruption and financial irregularities. So I don't know. I just feel, look, as a player, for personal reasons, he's a Muslim, earning what $200 million contract. Come on, man. You're 30 years old and you're getting that kind of money. Not only are you set for life, but you have generations set for life.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he went Saudi. It really wouldn't. I can see the pull for Juve because obviously you're still playing in Europe and you might be in Europa or whatever, and you might have one season out of the Champions League, but that club's a mess. It depends. It totally depends on his professional desire. It really does. Yeah. And he's you cannot read Thomas. You don't know whether he's pumped up, angry, chilled, doesn't give a damn, whatever. He's just got one straight expression on his face when he's playing the game. So you have no clue. So that picture, what you got on him here,
is him.
Is him. You just don't know. Is he blowing? Is he tired? Is he, wanting things to happen, whatever. You just don't know. So look, I love him as a player, but I guess from a personal point of view, I can see. I would say 95% sure he's leaving. For him, if I was him, I'd probably go Saudi.
Yeah. Look, the Saudi League can't be laughed at because, yes, they have brought a lot of the people that are coming to the end of their careers, you want to say. But, however, they are approaching like Neves, and they've signed Neves now. It's been official. So that is a brilliant signing for the Saudi League. Look, whether or not he gets loaned out to Newcastle, look, that's for UEFA to sort out. I'm not getting involved in what's legal and what looks dodgy and whatever like that. But, look, Saudi League, they're trying to do what the MLS did a good few years ago. The Chinese League did a couple of seasons ago. But I think Saudis are probably going to put it off pretty well. And look, they want a lucrative TV deal, and they'll get it through this because it didn't work with a certain Ronaldo going there. Because you know why? Because no one likes him. Right. Guna Greg, sorry, I was giggling when I saw that message come up. Yes, I saw the reported new contract reports of him signing a new deal until 2029. No, it's not. I found it hilarious that people are putting this kind of stuff out on Twitter and people are reading it and believing it. And this is why I've said earlier on the stream that if it's getting too much, take a break. Because honestly, people, and I know our own Tony did it earlier as well for a giggle, but people, some people do actually believe this stuff. And it's fine because maybe sometimes it's your only source of news, but you just have to be really careful because this kind of thing can affect a fan base. Like if that was to happen, I'm sorry, but a lot of fans would lose their minds. No offense, and it's no offense to Rob. It absolutely, I'm not having a pop at Rob about if signing a 6-year deal if that was what it was going to be. But seriously, no. We're buying timber, not to keep holding. Come on, guys. But yeah, it's madness. And Guna Greg, I know you've probably read it, and I read it as well. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Because I know full well, and there's a story in a minute about Rob that he will be leaving. So, as always, I thought always put in false. Look, Twitter is just a minefield, a moss. I know how much you struggle with like hearing news reports. Obviously, being in Canada, it's very different from how it is in the UK. But honestly, Twitter would just blow your mind, Moss. I would have to like do streams with you just to calm you down, to be honest. So it's a good job you're not in it. Arabs, but yeah, it is what it is. Holding, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry, honestly. I hope Holding, if he leaves. No. I saw you put this earlier. No, I'm a Rangers fan. I couldn't do that because I wouldn't be able to like him. I just wouldn't be able to like him. So no, he can go to Brentford, he can go to West Ham, he can go to any other club, but no Celtic because I will not be able to like him. So yeah, Brentford's an option, yes, because obviously they've lost Pontius Janssen this summer to Malmo. Oh, sorry, did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, he signed for Malmo. So Brentford would be a good option, if I'm honest. It kind of suits him. We've said West Ham as well. West Ham would suit him.
Sorry to butt in, and it's kind of off topic, right? But I absolutely didn't know that Villa have now got Monchi.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's a heck of a signing.
Yeah. What I will say about Aston Villa is their shirt is horrible. Honestly, everyone knows I'm into my shirts. And I saw that one, I think it was yesterday, BK8 or whatever it is on there. Honestly, that is the worst sponsor you can have on your shirt. It's just horrible. And they've changed their badge as well, which makes me have to change a countdown on Full Time Sports Network.
Okay.
I have the Aston Villa badge on. I've had to change the Burnley one as well. Burnley chose to change their badge as well. But
how dare they?
I know it's a nightmare because they're in my countdowns, so I have to change it.
But I just thought that was quite a significant purchase by
Yeah.
Villa, because that
Villa-
will, because he's everywhere he goes, that teams normally do a bit. To be fair,
yeah,
I think we was linked with him as well. I think
Yeah.
when Emery was in charge, so yeah, they might
honest.
get dangerous. They might be even more dangerous.
Yeah, obviously getting Tillemans is an amazing signing for them, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I think Aston Villa will be someone to watch out for next season, because I think under Emery they just seem to click, and they've got some really good youngsters as well. So big up to Terence Tibbs, Shalom. All yes, it is Friday night actually, weirdly, and I can say that because my dad is Jewish as well. So yeah, it's Friday night. So big up to you. You love Alistair. I do love Alistair, as in I would love him to come to Arsenal. But yeah, look, he just looks a really good right back. And I do look at Celtic and go, yeah, he's a decent player, but I wouldn't be able to love a player that I used to love at Arsenal at Celtic because I'm a Rangers fan. So yeah, it just doesn't work for me. Let's move on to Rob Holding, funny enough. Holding on his way out for £8 million, according to some news outlets. I think 8 million, it's a profit for a start. We've made a £6 million profit, which is very rare at Arsenal. Canners, 8 million, enough?
Kind of bittersweet. Love the guy, one of the most honest professionals that we've had for years. That's the bitter part. The sweet part, though, is obviously the fee that we're going to get from him, and also for the fact that I think we are past. Sorry, Mr. Fox. He's just not really up to the caliber of player that we should have in our squad. To be honest, we look, and as I said, it's absolutely no disrespect to Holding. It's we need a special to do a special stream.
That's
I'm
all
sure
Tony.
we will.
Just Tony. Tony.
It would just be Tony. Tony be doing. Silver Fox will be doing his Holding tribute show. Yeah. Listen. I mean, as honest as he is, he's just not. I think our squad now is at another level. And I just don't think he's at that level. I think he had the potential to be, but I think I can't remember, he had a season where he was pretty much on the sidelines for the whole season, practically the whole season. And I think that kind of killed him. But yeah, it's a shame. Love the guy. I know he loves Arsenal. He's a Northerner as well. For him to kind of, take Arsenal into his heart and everything, but once a gun, always a gunner, I guess. DWT Holly. Listen, I think, he's in an El Neni bracket, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a nice fella.
He's a nice fella.
Right, let's move on to talking about sales and what we're going to be doing with our sales. So Charlie Patino and Balogun are the most likely to leave. Obviously, they're young as well, so they come through our academy. What we will be doing is putting a set-on clause fee for majority of our sales this season. And Patino and Balogun, that will be hugely important. So at least Arsenal are now being sensible and planning for the future, because we do want to be self-sustainable. And the best way to do that is by having set-on clauses for a lot of our players, because I think Charlie Patino will kick on and do very well wherever he goes. I hope it's also a buyback clause, if I'm honest about Patino. Balogun, not so much. It's more of a case of we'd have to change our manager for Balogun possibly to come back. Are you happy with this idea that we're going to put on sell-on clauses now?
I think you have to, right? Sell on, buy back, whatever. You have to be smart, because sometimes there is a player I like, Charlie Patino, that can actually, given a chance, absolutely smash it in the Premiership. And we think, oh, wait 1 second, we haven't got no kind of clause or buyback or whatever in there. we've missed out on it, and I think there's been too many times that we've missed out on transfer fees because of the inept, really, attitude or whatever of the people doing the deals with our club. So, as much as it's sad to see players like Patino go, I think, for him, you can't stop him really from progressing and furthering their career, but also have that little bit of a sell on or buyback clause, have that kind of, that little safety net.
Yeah, exactly. Moss asking here about 8 million to where there's about, I think there's about 5 clubs in for Rob for 8 million. That's a bargain for a centre back that has got Premier League experience, and he can suit a different system. He just doesn't suit ours. It's not that he's a bad defender. He just doesn't suit our style of football.
No.
So he'd suit like Burnley. He'd suit Crystal Palace. He'd suit Celtic, because Celtic, yes, they play pressing football, but their centre backs are very much static. Starfelt, because obviously I watched a lot of Scottish football, and their centre backs are pretty much static. So Rob could do that job there. Brentford again, perfect signing there. As I said, Pontus Jansson is obviously left now, gone to Malmo. Terence saying I would hold out 15 for them. Honestly, I don't. I think I said 10 million a few weeks back. I'd be happy with. So yeah. And he's saying maybe Luton or Sheffield United. Sheffield United probably another good fit. Luton don't play that type of football that would suit Rob. So not for me, Luton. But Sheffield United's a good shout. How many players have Arsenal signed so far this 2023? Says Godfrey Sommer, 0. However, the window has been open. Was it 10 days? 9 days, something like that. So yeah. Not too worried about that at all. Ruderson sold for a whopping £1 million to Anderlecht. Let's look. I want to talk about it because obviously he does play for the Arsenal, and we're going to sell him. But what a joke! I'm pretty sure Nicholas got the wrong name somewhere along the lines when he said, "Oh, we must sign this guy," because I'm pretty sure it wasn't this bloke. Because absolutely awful. We've seen Richard Bright. We've seen there's been some shocking goalkeepers at Arsenal Football Club. He has by far the worst one I've seen at Arsenal. And yeah, I'm normally quite positive about our goalkeepers, but this guy is so.
He was shocking. You could just see he was like literally a rabbit headlights in that game against City. That one obviously sticks out, and it just, I'm surprised we actually got anything for him.
Yeah,
but that shows we're actually doing well at selling. $1 million.
Well, we're getting our money back, because that's literally what we paid for it. So we got our money back. So thank goodness we kept the receipt, obviously. Look, Eddie Nketiah is unsettled with the potential Havertz arrival. Eddie has stated clearly to close friends and some confidants at Arsenal that he is a little bit concerned about his future with the Havertz coming in. Now, honestly, if I was him, I'd say, well, Havertz is not coming as a striker. But I think to Eddie, he maybe feels that he's not even on Havertz level, which concerns me about his mental confidence himself. And for me, he has to go now. And I said it all last season. I don't think we should have kept him last summer. I think we should have sold him last summer. A lot of people hated me for saying that, but I just didn't see the player that everyone else saw. And last season, again, for me, proved it. It's just he's not good enough for what we need. It's not saying he's a bad striker. He's just not good enough for what we need.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for him to come out, or some news to come out that he's unsettled, how dare you? Come on. I mean, come on, man. I just bless him. Look, he's an honest player. Again, I just don't think he's up to the standard of quality that what we need in terms of the way we play. He can score a goal.
Yeah.
However, there is also that kind of his chances and taking chances, scoring ratio is I'd love to know what that is, because there's so many big chances which he should have put away last season, which he didn't. And nice guy, nice kid, but I think it's time for him to move on.
Yeah, it is for me. I know Gunnar Grigg saying this is off topic. It's not, to be honest. We did talk about Party, but quick yes or no, would you be up for a Party Vlahovic swap deal? Yeah. Yeah.
No, because
No.
any player that kind of snubbed us, no.
Did he though? Did he? That's the thing. Did we? Because I know this. We didn't even put a bid in for him.
Really?
Yeah, never happened. This is why I said to you before we came on stream that I don't like a certain job.
Because he's the one who said that he was ours.
Yeah.
This guy can go do one, can't he?
Any youngsters from the academy would like to make a breakthrough? Cozy Dewberry is the first one that comes to my mind. I think he's going to go out on loan next season, if I'm honest.
Physically, I think he's nearly ready.
Yeah, he is. And yeah, Moss has put it Raw Waters and possibly Lino Sousa as well. I think we might either Lino will probably break through or will be sent out on loan to get him a good season of experience, because Lino is definitely ready as well. So yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Arsenal have signed up a trio of Arsenal ladies, and they are Michelle Aguiman, Freya Godfrey, and Naomi Williams. Michelle is a forward. She actually made her debut last season in the WSL. Freya is a very talented midfielder. Very excited to see her next season. And Naomi Williams is a goalkeeper. But what it does say is how much work we're doing behind the scenes to secure, not just for the men's, but the women's, the future of Arsenal. And listen very carefully when I say who is in that picture. Helen Wheatley. Claire Helen Wheatley. Now, if your people listen to the surname, you'll know who she might be related to. That's all I'm saying. Right, let's move on to the next one. Arsenal launch a women's match day forum. Now, very much like to what we do with the men, so all the supporters can sit down and have a chat and how to improve match days. Arsenal ladies are now doing theirs. Obviously, we're playing extra games at the Emirates next season as well, but it obviously improves.
That's so good. That's so good.
It will improve it at the ballroom. I think it's called Meadow Lane, isn't it? Ballroom Wood Ground at Meadow Lane. So it's just brilliant. Look, Arsenal have always been a step ahead of everyone in the UK when it comes to women's football. And again, we're doing it again. We're speaking to the fans and seeing how we can improve the experience. So, look, I love what Arsenal are doing. I've always liked it. Moss talking about other youth here. What's up the decks deal? Look, I know it's stressful but honestly, just be patient and all will be revealed when people feel it's the right time to reveal it. For whatever reason, I do not know. And Moss also likes Lino. Let's move on to the next storyline. Arsenal have learnt their EFL group opponents. If you don't understand what this means, it's the under-21 team. So it's Mehmet's team. So Mehmet can have the under-21s playing up against full-fledged lower league teams. And this season, we are playing against Exeter City, Swindon Town, and Reading. Obviously, Reading were relegated from the Championship last season, so they are up against Arsenal. So it'll be an interesting group stage, and as you can probably see, there's obviously West Ham in the Group H as well. But yeah, Arsenal have got a tricky one because Reading could be fighting Swindon, Exeter, as well. But yeah, I think Reading will be the biggest opposition for us next season. But big up to Mehmet. I hope you do really well. And obviously, ESR came on in the 79th minute. Yes, was it yesterday? They played Czech Republic and scored a goal. Doesn't need very long, does he? But Look, ESR, as I've told you all to watch him under 21 level, it shows what he's capable of in the midfield role as well as what he can do on the left, which is when most of us see him. But he is so good. And I'm glad that I feel that we are moulding him into a different position, so he can hopefully take that as his own at some
kind of
point.
feel we've forgotten about him, haven't we? Really, from like last season, because he wasn't really involved. A lot of people kind of forgotten about him, and then when we're talking about transfers, we're not even talking about Smith Rowe, are we? In terms of the numbers of players that we have to play certain positions. So
I totally agree.
Signing.
Exactly. I know Moss is asking about Chloe here, the Canadian forward. It hasn't been announced, but this will be a world record transfer fee, and I expect it. When I broke it, that was literally within, I think, about half an hour. It broke when I spoke about it on Tuesday or last week. I can't remember, because honestly, I do so many different streams and talk so much about football. I can't remember what I talk about on what show. But when it was breaking, it was literally half an hour before the show started. So it will be a transfer record fee, and I'm sure it will be sealed up. And Russo, again, nothing's been finalized or announced because Russo isn't out of contract until the another week, because very similar to the contracts in the men's. They end on the 30th of June. So Russo, I expect to be announced on the 1st of July. As in Chloe, I expect that to be getting wrapped up. The deal is close. I'm pretty sure she will be signing it and will be a record fee. So let's get into the two paper talks. These will surprise some people, but I have to talk about them because there are possible links, and I do check my information, and it's credible. So the first one is Chelsea and Arsenal have joined the race to sign 25-year-old League One star Axel Disasi. He is a centre-back that plays for Monaco. Now, people are going, oh, hang on, but we're getting Timber. We always said that we might be getting a fullback and a centre-back. So maybe, not saying it is, but if Tierney leaves as well, we've got to bear this in mind. If Tierney does leave, then I think James said we'll still be one short. So if the links with Disasi is accurate, and I know that Man United are meant to be close to signing him, according to the Twitter feed, everyone's close to signing for someone. I'm pretty sure some people have got to separate themselves about 5 times to sign for the clubs that they're meant to be signing for.
Have we lost Bob?
Have you lost me?
Oh,
is it me? Is it
I
you?
I think it might have been me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was because I was waiting for the little symbol in the corner to go. It's dropped, but it hasn't come up, so it must have been you.
That was really bizarre. Okay.
But, no worries.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you know much about Disasi?
I don't. But judging by that, is he the Monaco captain? He's got the armband there.
Yeah.
I mean, 25. I mean, no. To be honest, in short, I don't know much about him. I mean, I think the guy who Chelsea got, he was their main man at first, isn't it, at Monaco?
Yeah.
And he's been a bit of a flop, really, hasn't he, at Chelsea, as everyone else. But it'd be interesting to see what happens with this guy.
Yeah, the guy that I can never say his name because I struggle speaking anyway. But the guy that Chelsea has signed,
yeah, I know,
begins with a B.
Yeah,
he is very talented. I do think he'll kick on next season. But yeah, he's very, very good, and Disasi is very good. And yes, Moss, before you say this is my French team, yes, it is my French team. I'm not being biased here. I promise. Disasi is good. That's why everyone's being linked with him at the moment. I know that someone said here, Gunnar Greg says Satalo or Tubido over him for me. Satalo is the one that I want out of all of them, mainly because the fee would be better because he's coming from the Croatian league. So the fee won't be as crazy as what they are when it's like a French league or German league or anything like that. So I think we can get him for 30. Todibo is meant to be again. signing for United, but we'll watch out for that one as well. He's plays for Nice, I believe. So yeah, look, these are just the links. These are just the paper talk.
Yeah.
There is nothing more. That's why I literally put paper talk on there, because it is paper talk. I just double check it and put it in. If that's why I haven't put the Iceman in, because there was paper talk, but for me it's not credible. Right, and this one is Arsenal pushing hard to sign powerful midfielder Milinkovic-Savic. Now this one is interesting. This has no I know what the word I'm trying to say. So it's not a backup to Declan Rice if that does not work. This is someone that we've been keeping an eye on for a while. And it kind of makes sense as well, because obviously losing Partey, losing Xhaka, having a powerful, strong midfielder like Savic coming in would make absolute sense. And it wouldn't be too expensive as well. What about for you, Canners, for Milinkovic-Savic?
Listen, last season I wanted this guy. I think he'll be an amazing addition to our squad if we was able to get him. Powerful player. Do you know what? There was talk about he wouldn't come to us, or there would be some kind of issue with him coming because of Xhaka or whatever. But I guess that might not be a problem anymore, because if Xhaka leaves. But listen, this guy, he can play, and I'd love to have him in our squad. Absolutely love to have him. And our midfield would be so strong, strong physically as well. Oh
yeah, indeed.
He would.
Yeah, and Tony's saying that Aussie Steve would be very happy. Man, Gunnar Greg, I like SMS, but I've seen a lot of. I don't understand the slating him, to be honest, because I don't see what they're seeing. A lot of people are very much like it with Mitrovic as well. Mitrovic, I think, is a very good striker. He has obviously kind of one game plan, but it works for him.
It works,
it's not like, look, I get a lot of, when he came to the Premier League the first time, he didn't do very well, but the Championship made him grow as a player, and he came back. Because I tell you, the Championship is one of those leagues that definitely puts hairs on your chest.
Absolutely.
It makes you a proper man.
I was about to say, makes you a man. Absolutely.
Because
it's the Heineken,
this is why,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's why I've said a lot about Patino, because Patino pretty much played the majority of the season at Blackpool. Yes, they got relegated, and it wasn't a great season, but he played majority of the games, and he's 18, 19, Charlie, and you saw how he was at the beginning of the season to how he is now. He's a very well built young kid now.
He needed to be. He needed to put those pounds on, because he was very slight when I last saw him turning out for the Arsenal.
Moss saying here, SMS is a better Xhaka for me. Terence is trying to make me say that now. I'm not going to try to. The guy that's at Chelsea that signed for Monaco that begins with a B, he scouted him since he was 17 to 18 and tipped him to be a top centre back. He is very, very good. I can't say his name because I know it won't come out anything like that, how it's meant to be said. Lazio take Balogun and Jorginho. Give us Romero. You want about the young Argentinian there, and SMS. We're still as treating football, but no, look, it just doesn't work like that. But guys, before I wrap it up, I just want to say I will be back next Tuesday and I will be back next Friday. If there is any breaking news, one of the many Armoury team will come on and break it with you when we can. We always try and be as quick as we can with any breaking news. Obviously, at the moment, it's definitely Tuesdays and Fridays. We do the news to keep you updated. Last Tuesday, on Tuesday, it was 22 slides. It's 15 this time. It's a little bit less. But I do find enough news to give you all, guys, because I like to keep you up to date with even stuff that most of you probably are not even interested in. But if it's Arsenal, it has something to do with me. Canners, really appreciate you coming on, mate. Where can people find you?
Listen, you can always find me on Twitter and also on the Armoury TV. Twitter at Canners2204. But yeah, listen, we did a show from G Talks, Loose Cannons. So we'll obviously let everyone know via Twitter, etc., when next Loose Cannons were coming out. And again, we was talking on transfers, everything that's happening right now with the Arsenal. So yeah, you can always catch me there.
There we go. And this weekend, you'll see a lot of me on Full Time Sports Network because my watch alongs still have not stopped. I'm still doing watch alongs because I found more games to watch. So this weekend, I'm doing Portugal versus Netherlands under 21s. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, for anyone that actually cares, Tavares did play for Portugal the other day. They lost. I just want him to be gone, if I'm honest. But that will be a good game. And then I'll be doing England versus Israel on Sunday on Full Time Sports Network as well at 8 o'clock. I will be doing the Premier League so far with transfers. So it's updating every team, who signed who. And surprisingly, not many people have signed anybody, but a lot have left because of their contract ending.
Once one happens, once one big transfer happens, then
yeah,
that'll
exactly.
be it.
And I'll be doing that show once a week, so keeping up to date for all the 20 teams, because it's important to keep an eye on where people go and what other teams are doing. And don't worry, Arsenal will sign someone next week, I guarantee it. Look, we're literally what 10 days in, and look,
everybody's losing their minds.
Yeah, exactly. But don't need to lose your minds. If you are losing your mind, just take a little bit of a break from Twitter, and just chill. And then
turn the TV off.
Exactly. Turn the TV off. But guys, take care, everyone. See you very, very soon, I promise.
Peace.